Like this video and subscribe to the channel right now, and get 1 week of amazing luck. In today's video, we're going to take a look at some of the most surprising things caught on camera. From polar bear video to biggest python. Stick with us till the end for amazing clips. Can you please tell me what's wrong with this clip? I don't know what this coach is want to do. This is therapy or what? Don't forget to tell me in the comment box. This was an embarrassing moment for this young guy. During this event, this woman becomes a victim of oops moment. I just want to jump on the next clip now, I can't see this. Oh, that's not what this couple expected. This is intentional. I am sure about it. What do you think? Who says we have to visit a zoo or a theme park to see Yogis and Pooh's cousins? If coming over meant breaking into someone's house by shattering a window, this bear had no choice but to come over. The bear is progressively creating devastation in this video. Mostly from the outside, looking for food on people's kitchen countertops. Perhaps it mistook the house owner for a honey smuggler. Nobody expected to see camels in the water, but they did. Normally, we'd see these creatures back in the desert, but in this video, they're having a good time swimming. Well, it's not exactly enjoyable. They're preparing for special camel races, which I had no idea existed, but it's still really cool. I don't know about you, but if something like this happened in my yard, I'd be terrified and contact an exorcist. As you can see, many flocks of what look like crow decided to relax on the grass, with more on the way. I've seen far too many horror films to be surprised by what follows next. I believe this dog is aware of what we witnessed in the previous clip. Even he realizes that that spine-tingling sight could spell disaster for whoever lives in that house. In this clip, a pair of friends were fishing on the boat when one caught something spectacularly huge, a 200-pound catfish. That's got to be written in the books as one of the best fishing trips those guys ever went on. Speaking of shows, this one seemed to jump right out of a popular kids cartoon, you know, the one with a talking map. He forgot his mask and all, but there's no way it isn't him just looking at it sneakily, trying to go up and get that golf ball. It acted too cute that the man completely forgot to do that one chant that the one particular cartoon kid taught us that always stops the fox from stealing. Could this be the worst bear-related scenario of them all? This bear is training in the ways of ninjutsu. Just look at it, swing those homemade nunchucks. It probably heard how we all grew up watching a certain blonde ninja who wanted to be the future leader of his village and figured it could maybe put on shows and hope people gave it food as tips. After all, his act is pretty unique for his kind. Before just watching as he writhes in pain because the fish he caught, clung to him back, I think this guy should learn a thing or two about the art of snatching from the fox and the clip. There's no delicate way of phrasing it, but we hope it wasn't too painful for the lad that the fish wouldn't go down without a fight, but hey, at least he got something to cook for dinner that night, right? In this video, we see a bear break into someone's home and completely raid their kitchen. It frantically opened the refrigerator and drawers, sniffing everything it could find. In the microwave, even the wall melted. Because the movie ends before we see the outcomes of its journey, we're left to wonder if it discovered what it was seeking for in the end. Perhaps those two final bears could learn from their cousins, as shown in this video of a polar bear patiently lingering outside someone's open window while being fed by the homeowners. There was no vandalism, no inexplicable wrath that would leave the landowners perplexed the next morning, just plain patience and a lot of cuteness in receiving the polar bear cookies it desired. If you ask me, it sounds suspiciously like what toddlers do. If we thought we were scared of slippers due to childhood memories of our mother's sharpshooting skills whenever we were naughty, that's not the case here. Watch as this lady scares off an entire crocodile by whipping out her chancla. It seemed confused at first, but it quickly learned that this woman was down to fight. This enormous octopus noticed a sliver of light in one corner and proceeded to eat its way back into the ocean through it. Yes, you heard that right. The octopus squeezed through that tiny breach and made it home safely. Imagine you were minding your own business while scuba diving to observe the coral reefs when a shark appears out of nowhere and attacks you. That's exactly what happened in the video to this kid. As you can see, this child was not doing anything out of the ordinary until an unprovoked shark lunged at him. Thankfully, the child got his spear out just in time to stop the shark from launching its attack. The guys in this video don't seem as lucky as the kid from the last. While kayaking with family and friends, a whale suddenly appears and decides to swallow their boat whole with them in it. We can observe that the onlookers were terrified, but we learned later after the video the two were spitting out by the aquatic mammal and survived with no serious injury. Also, might I add the number of birds again in this clip? I'm telling you, having many of them in one place is not a good sign. This appears to be the first time this cat has ever ventured outside in the snow. Just look at how awestruck it is by the white landscape. I believe he was delighted to be a part of it as well, since he jumped straight in after only a few seconds of consideration. Unfortunately, he wasn't warned about the severity of the snowstorm, and he was quickly buried beneath several inches of snow. Using an empty trash bin, this guy went toe-to-toe with an alligator. He shoved that thing up to the gator's face, causing it to retreat slowly. Eventually, however, the gator was trapped after the dude closed the lid on its head and continuously slid the bin under it. Later we can see that he's returned to where he belongs, which is certainly not that guy's front lawn. He was standing unarmed filming something with his crew when suddenly a rhino came angrily charging. It looks like he was able to dodge it, but still, that had to be extremely scary. I imagine that the guy may have gotten wounded had he not been quick on his feet, and if that rhino's horn hadn't been broken in half. Well, at least the video ended well with him being able to laugh the encounter off as he and his friends watched the rhino run away. If the lady in the last video was scared, imagine being in these people's shoes. They were on the road looking out of the savannah when, bam, a rhino comes crashing into the side of their friend's SUV. It wasn't just one time either. That thing made for another attack as the driver desperately tried to go in reverse and escape the situation. This takes the term road rage on a whole different level. We all like hugs and piggybacks, but what if it was within a wild orangutan? You heard that right. Watch as a tired orangutan decides to cling to the lady in black in this clip. The woman seemed scared out of her mind, but that didn't deter the animal. The orangutan refused to let go and even went further to grip her in a firm-looking hug. Finally, this film may serve as a reminder to all passengers to remember to lock their doors at all times. This family was somewhere in South Africa, driving down a road when they came across a pack of lions relaxing from a safe distance. What they didn't figure for was how interested these large beasts are. One of the lions actually opens the door after approaching their automobile. The camera lady was startled, but she managed to close and lock the door in time, which I consider a close call. In this video, we see a group of men struggling against a 27-foot-long reticulated python. The python visibly has its body wrapped around one of its mate's ankles, trying desperately to haul him off to its lair somewhere in the vast jungle. Thankfully, after a series of struggling and wrestling with the beast, the men were able to free their friend and even catch the reptile. We later learned that it was donated to a local zoo where it now lives. As much as the idea of being hauled into a predator's home sends shivers up my spine, the following video gives me the creeps. With nothing but her bare hands, this brave woman approaches a massive snake. It takes a while, but she eventually charms it enough that she can grab it and carry it outside barehanded. I still get goosebumps thinking about one of her pals waiting with a sack in hand to drop the snake in the geese. This little tailor bird was seen weaving leaves to make a comfy nest, definitely one of nature's architects. A giant spiral staircase creates a mind-boggling optical illusion that makes it look like it's spinning when it's not. A curious shark tried to swallow a camera, and it's amazing how clean its mouth looked. This guy climbed the wall with impressive speed like a real-life Spider-Man. This camera captured the light reflecting off the water droplets at just the right angle. The biker was not the only one saved by a parachute. I definitely didn't expect this to happen. This man showed an unbelievable pool trick shot. The chemistry teacher shocked his students by doing this to a water container with a simple match. The propeller rotation of this helicopter exactly matched the shutter speed of the recording camera. A poor whale was struggling with a rope wrapped around its body. But this brave man jumped on it and cut it. This woman filmed herself enjoying a water slide, and it looked like a magical tunnel to another destination. These two pro car racers were engaged in an epic battle, and it was all caught by this drone. A stabilized camera perfectly recorded Earth's rotation.